Hello there and welcome to this week's edition of Eye on Ports. It's brought to you by Star Assurance, the best insurance company when it comes to the marine industry. Also GCNet and the Royal Bank. That's also your choice as far as financial assistance within the marine sector is concerned. And the best logistic company in this country, UT Logistics. We also acknowledge our proud partner, the Business and Financial Times. If you get a copy of the Tuesday edition of the Business and Financial Times, you should be reading a lot more about the content of Eye on Port and also all the news and activities within the port industry. Folks, this week we revisit the issue of inspection of imports in the ports of Ghana, because government says it has realized that customs all this while has not been performing its core function of classification, valuation and inspection of imports. For that matter, it's official. The destination inspection companies that were doing this particular job for customs have been told that they are no longer going to work after 31st of August this year. Customs now take over. The finance minister said TECPE announced during the mid-year budget review reading that contract of the 5 destination inspection companies operating in Ghana's main borders and port of entry, namely Tema, Takoradi, and the Kotoka International Airport, will come to an end on 31st of August 2015, and customs will assume its core responsibilities of valuation, classification, and inspection of imports at the ports.
A major component of the strategy is the complete takeover of customs valuation and classification from the destination inspection companies under the single window concept. This conforms to the World Customs Organization's directives and best practices. So far, Ghana has been lagging behind in following this directive.
However, it has emerged that customs is expected to perform these core duties with the support of a private company called West Blue, who has already reached an understanding with government through an MOU with a final contract to be signed in the next few days.
Now, the West Blue is a single window. The idea is to put a platform in place so that Port Health, Standards, Authority, Customs, anybody, Ports and Harbors itself, which is part of the platform, do things electronically. The contract is being worked on. It's not been signed yet, but we are the draft. The AG, Ministry of Finance, and our tax policy unit, GRA, are looking at it, and it will be signed pretty soon.
But there's, shall I say, a memorandum of understanding. We had approval from Public Procurement Authority.
To do what?
To contract West Blue. But from 1st September, it is custom that takes over, with assistance of West Blue.
However, a number of concerns have been raised against the contract between government and West Blue, as critics believe due diligence has not been done on its previous performance with the Nigerian customs.
From where I sit as the Executive Secretary of Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana, I have been advocating that West Blue records in Nigeria has not been the best. And of course, we ask government that how come that you single source West Blue without even knowing the track record of West Blue. Indeed, the whole West African countries, you and I are aware that it was only Nigeria that they gave them the contract to do the single window concept in this country, in Nigeria.
The criticism prompted the Office of the Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service to respond in a letter dated 2nd July 2015 that, quote, West Blue spearheaded the development of the Pre-Arrival Assessment Report, PAR, for pre-arrival processing of Nigerian imports. This happened at a time when the service providers were not forthcoming on the replacement system for customs clearance towards the end of the contract period. According to the Nigerian Customs, the PAR introduced by West Blue, quote, has been a success story in Nigeria. It has helped increase revenue about 20%, reduce clearance time, and improve operator compliance significantly. Then came another letter casting doubt on the credibility of the comments made by the Controller General of the Nigerian Customs. The letter, purportedly from the Federal Ministry of Finance of Nigeria and dated April 22, 2014. Signed by the Finance Minister, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, read, quote, Pre-Arrival Assessment Report PAR Platform, which I understand now works efficiently. It is good that you and your team took the necessary action to strengthen the system to ensure effective trade facilitation and revenue collection by the NCS. Given the importance of the power system and the considerable time and resources expended to develop the underlying ICT platform, I would be grateful for you to kindly update me on the activities undertaken by TechnoBrain West Blue Consulting in developing the initial platform, which I understand is no longer in use. I would also be grateful for a breakdown of the cost associated with developing the now failed system. I am pleased that the enhanced power system developed by WebFountain has helped to address the issues experienced under the former platform. Signed, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo Iweala, Minister of Finance, April 22, 2014. This has made a section of Ghanaians even taking government to court for attempting to engage West Blue.
The contention here is a single sourcing. And I'm saying that I, as counsel, would not hesitate in being part of the team that would take this matter up in court. I will not hesitate.
So in the midst of all these controversies, the Minister of Trade says a team is heading to Nigeria to assess the performance of West Blue.
An interagency group is being assembled, hopefully to visit Nigeria within the next 2 weeks if all things are ready. It's a fact-finding mission with clear terms of reference to understand what has happened in Nigeria with regards to its customs administration, and to ask all the relevant agencies, the Ministry of Finance there, the Nigerian Customs, Nigerian freight forwarders and shippers, and other shipping and import-export institutions with regards to the transition that has been taking place there and the role that West Blue may have played in that. The team includes officials from the Ministry of Trade and Industry, officials from the Ministry of Finance, the Ghana Revenue Authority, the Office of the President, and I believe National Security.
But critics say such an assessment of the abilities of West Blue to execute a single window should have been done a long time ago.
It seems to me as if government is putting the cart before the horse, because all of us heard the trade minister talking about West Blue. Why didn't we do due diligence, going to Nigeria, doing the groundwork, finding out how the system is working and all that before coming to start the process of agreement or MOU?
They question why government has already signed an MOU with a company before embarking on a journey to assess that company.
Government aid in giving this contract to West Blue before going to study in Nigeria to know what has been the track record from the West Blue work when Nigerian government engaged them.
Others have also questioned why Ghana now should be going to Nigeria to learn reforms on single window when, for instance, on July 8, 2015, Babayemi Babajide, APM Terminal Manager in Apapa Port, highlighted in a presentation on port performance indicators at the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa that, quote, looking at the improvement in Ghana and Benin, it is unfortunate that Nigeria is still at the rudimentary stages of single window implementation, unquote. Again, in Chapter 7 of this Customs Reforms and Modernization in Nigeria report, page 108, the Nigerian Customs applauded Ghana that, quote, Ghana is an excellent example of how the introduction of modern ICT to customs procedures and processes can dramatically improve a customs regime's capabilities. Even without a comprehensive reform effort, Ghana was able to make tremendous strides in both revenue collection and cargo clearance simply by introducing a single window platform, unquote. Well, so is it the case that we were paying the destination inspection companies 1% of all FOBs, at the same time paying custom officers while the DICs did their job for them all this while? And who really is going to be in charge of destination inspection after 1st September? If it's customs, are they going to do it alone, or they are going to be partnered? And who is going to partner them? I was fortunate. The finance minister handed me the man who always advised him on tax policies in this country, and for that matter was responsible for the statement he made in Parliament. I began by asking him, come 1st September, how is everything going to look like? How is the picture going to look like? Who does what and who does what?
It is custom that is taking over the work of the ICs, because the functions of the ICs has always been and forever will be the functions of customs. So we are just trying to mainstream these activities in the activities of customs.
But they are going to be supported by...
Yes, so from 1st September, customs takes over a system. But that system, the technology is being provided by West Blue. So West Blue is going to help custom with the setup, software and everything, and also technical expertise. So from first September, you're going to meet custom officers, not people from West Blue. They are custom officers who will be manning the place. That is why it is situated in customs.
And what will West Blue be doing then?
Providing assistance. So the first thing you're going to provide the software.
And would you say that customs is well prepared enough to take over fully?
Yes. Fully. And because they've been informed, or because they even know that this is their role. Not that it's part of that's custom function. So every custom officer, when you go through training, you are trained on these issues. So they knew they're going to take over, and they have been preparing. They've traveled to many countries to understudy other systems. Even when the DICs came, they pushed a lot of custom officers.
I see.
They pushed a lot of custom officers. And custom officers were seconded to them. So there is expertise in customs.
Physical presence, yes. But technical facilities, are they on top of them?
They are on top.
Do they have them?
They are on top. Custom must always be ready. There's this saying in the Bible that the lazy man says there's a lion in the way. There's no lion in the way. Custom is ready. And that is the misunderstanding, or should I say misinformation that has seeped into the system. No, custom is ready. They've always been ready to take over. Always.
Okay.
And some of these, I believe in the private sector participation in some of these things, but the core function of an agency should not be given to a private person.
Okay.
They can be helped or assisted for some time, but at the end of the day, the agency should take over their core function.
Do you anticipate any hitch?
I don't anticipate any hitch. They are ready. There's no fear. They'll be able to. But of course, there will be a transition. There will be a transition that will be mapped out. Yeah. So what I can anticipate is that first September, custom will take over new import requests, but they will give maybe the DICs a few weeks to pass through the requests they have already, so that it will be that seamless switch over.
And you don't have the stipulated period for which they will do this? Because people would want to know, so that within that time frame, importers wouldn't have to send requests to the DIs.
Yeah, they'll be to come out.
Okay.
Yeah, from 1st August like that, there's going to be hotlines where you can make inquiries. But in August, the full information, public education will come out. Even though right now they are meeting free forwarders, they are the main. Yeah, they are the main front runners when it comes to the port operation. So all the people involved are being trained gradually, but the public will also get to know the information very soon. In August, I'm sure the information will come out. What do we stand to gain as customs take over the job of DICs by 31st of August? The first thing as government will be, we're paying them 1% of FOB. That 1% of FOB. Of what? Of free on board. Okay. Of all imports. Okay. So that 1% is going to government. I see. So is that going to go to customs? Yes, that will add to government revenue. How? Through who? Is it going to go to customs? Because at the moment I know that 1% goes to the trade ministry, and then the trade ministry then gives some to the DICs. Yeah. At this, so now there's no DIC. There's no DIC. Yeah. So where does that 1% go to? To government. Through who? Customs or who? Through customs, yeah. Okay, because so customs will be taking that 1%, yes, and hand it over obviously to the Ministry of Finance? No. To the consolidated fund. To the consolidated fund, yes, of course. So it comes to that becomes under your control. Yeah. You recall that the 1% that was being given to trade, it wasn't all of it that was given to the DICs. About 0.82 was given to the DICs, 0.12 wasn't given to the DICs. I don't know too much about that because that's a trade issue. But I know that the Ministry of Trade also had a percentage used for the running of the ministry. Yeah, for trade facilitation. Okay. Yeah. So now the entire 1% is going to go to customs and then subsequently into the consolidated fund. Yeah. Is that the case? Yes.
Okay. So Trade Ministry, what are they going to do about the 0.12?
There will be a different arrangement on that.
So they won't
Which
get
I
that
can't talk about that. That is above me.
No, I mean, so obviously they are not going to get that 0.12%.
They could get it.
How? They are not doing anything for it. They are not
No,
working for it.
For trade facilitation. They are responsible for trade facilitation. So there could be other areas of trade facilitation they need money for. So they should be given that, or a room will be created for them to have that money. I believe so.
How is West Blue going to be paid?
West Blue is going to be paid from the, shall I say, a percentage. Yeah, a percentage of the of FOB of goods imported into the country.
What's the percentage?
We are not yet setting the percentage. It will be between 0.35 and 0.45. It will be not settled on that. Okay. The contract has not been drawn, or the contract has not been finalized.
Okay.
Yeah. So
when do you think all this contract thing will be finalized? Because there's expected to start work from 1st September. That's just few weeks away.
I'm sure in the next 2 weeks
we should see a contract for.
But there's an award notification. They'll be informed that from public procurement approval, they have been notified that they are supposed to start the work. So they have to respond to us, and then we told them that the contract will be signed later. So that is why that gives them the go ahead to start work.
The FOBs initially were going to the DICs, and 1% was going to the Trade Ministry. Is it that out of that 1% that you are going to pay this percentage to West Blue?
Yes, of course.
Okay. And it's supposed to be way less than what the DICs were.
Oh, way less. It's way less.
Because there were 5 companies doing the inspections themselves. Now customs is going to be the main person.
So to be less, yeah.
Well, that's the head of tax policy at the Ministry of Finance. Meanwhile, beyond asking the customs to go back to its core functions of classification, also valuation and inspection of imports, government says they have some tax regimes in place that is going to make it so difficult for individuals and businesses to now evade tax. Take a listen. The finance minister announced on Tuesday, July 21, during the mid-year budget review reading, that in the Ghana Revenue Authority strategic plan from 2015 through 2017, businesses' information and exchange of import data with domestic information for tax compliance purposes is being pursued to ensure that all companies pay the required taxes to the state in order to rake in revenue for developmental purposes.
Importers are required to indicate their TIN numbers and the domestic tax office where they honor their tax obligations for full compliance, including tax audits.
In this view, the Ghana Community Network Services (GCNet) has revealed that it has completed a facility that interfaces a single view of the importer and major revenue agencies like the IRS, Customs, VAT, etc., which hitherto operated separately in the port.
Okay, you're an importer, but you're also an owner of a business. You are also liable for domestic tax, be that VAT, be that company tax. So we build a single view of the taxpayer so that we get an overview of all your operations, not just at the point of import into the country, but your ongoing operations as an individual or business. So this means that you can share information between the different systems.
Effective registration system is considered a major component in securing taxes for the state. Hence, under the GGov project being undertaken by GCNet, all businesses as well as their directors have been given tax identification numbers that allow revenue agencies to track the tax compliance level of individuals and businesses.
Everybody who now registers a business has to give a tax identification number, and all directors, shareholders, secretaries, etc., must all have an individual tax identification number in addition to the tax identification number for the actual company. Now, what we can see is how those individuals are connected with other companies now. So you might be a shareholder or a director in company A, and also a shareholder in company B and C and so on. So you can actually see and build up a much better idea of economic activity of an individual and how companies relate to each other and whether there are actually cross-shareholding between companies.
In the past, a lot of people only acquired business certificates and business bank accounts and start operating without paying taxes. But per the new tax compliance arrangement, businesses will need their TINs and tax codes before they can operate.
Once you've actually been registered for a tax type, for example, if your company is by its profile liable for VAT, what that means is that the system is now checking that you are actually filing your VAT returns. It's an offence if you don't, even if you don't, if you claim that you haven't made any sales, you have to file a nil return. Okay? And if you don't, it's an offence, and the system will A, automatically remind you, B, automatically issue notices if you've actually gone beyond a certain number of days, and C, actually calculate penalties and interest on returns and payments that have not actually been made. So there's an automatic enforcement aspect. It's not reliant on people fishing through folders and typing up letters and sending them out.
Chris Holden revealed that another code is being generated called the Orphan Taxpayer, which will expose all individuals and companies who have tax identification numbers but don't pay tax in any GRA offices.
Now, at the time that the company is incorporated, the tax identification number is created. It's immediately pushed over to GRA. Now, we've created a little sub-project within in which we're identifying orphan taxpayers. In other words, people who have registered, have a tax identification number, but now don't show up within any of the GRA offices as actually active taxpayers. And we're able to geolocate where these guys are and actually assign them to a tax office for the tax office then to follow up and ensure that they're actually onboarded at the tax office, they're registered for the correct tax types, okay, depending on their profile, and that then they start paying tax.
He said all the tax compliance measures being instituted have generally been successful so far, but a lot more cooperation is required.
Good people who are wanting to actually make this work, okay, and there's strong leadership from within government to make sure this work. For sure, not everybody is on board. This is the nature of change, okay, that there will be people who will get the idea, okay, and will be supportive. And then there are some of the laggards who will not necessarily be quite so interested, okay? But it's an ongoing process.
Iron Pod returns pretty shortly after the break.
I've got no need to worry. I've got no room for doubt. No matter what's coming at me, you'll always be the beautiful I sing about. There ain't no limitations to your amazing grace. Your amazing grace. And there's something about the way your love shines on my face. Oh no, I can never get enough of you.
Star Assurance, creating smiles since 1985. Let go. Let's celebrate 30 years of solid partnership. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
I'll take care of you.
There's a place in my heart that makes me feel that you're the one. It's a place I wanna be, 'cause satisfaction guaranteed. From strength to strength you help me grow, 'cause you're there for me. And teach me how to be independent, 'cause you
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank.
Banking with transparency, commitment to integrity.
The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. The Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank. Real banking, real difference.
UT Logistics have come to stay. When you approach a job like the way we approach it, each job is unique. Each client is unique. We provide the best service in the system. We have best staff. We are very fast. We are quick, and we save customers a lot of money. We are very transparent as well, and we approach every job with professionalism and the seriousness that it requires.
Welcome back. Coming up next is some news and activities happening within the port and maritime industry. The Director General of the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, Richard Anamu, has reiterated that the authority will, from October 1, 2015, review upwards vessel handling charges and stevedoring charges by 4%, whilst receipt and delivery charges with regards to export charges will be 10% higher. Import handling will be increased by 20%. According to him, there have been a number of discussions with stakeholders on the proposed increment in the port charges, which is expected to boost port operations. GPHA had earlier said July 1, 2015 to review tariffs upward, but the move was suspended to allow for broader consultation among stakeholders.
We listened to them very well. We took into consideration their concerns. And their concerns were not just the issue of the increases, but they also pointed to us certain activities that they think the GPHA should look at, especially the issue of seed cutting and all that. We said, okay, we'll look at all those things.
Richard Anamu said negotiations have been concluded and the increment will take effect on the 1st of October 2015.
And come 1st October, there will certainly be an increase. We're looking at the feasibility of reducing it, in appreciation of the views that have been expressed by the various concerns.
He noted that the authority incurs huge cost in providing efficient and reliable services to its clients, hence the need for the increment in order for GPHA to offer quality and efficient services to its customers.
Somebody has to pay for something somewhere along the line. Now, if GPHA has no money to import the spare parts, then of course, both GPHA and them, we're going to go back to the way we were less than 4 or 5 years ago. Yes, because as I said, the mobile harbor cranes are there. They are discharging. That's why you no longer hear queuing of vessels inside the port.
Richard Anamu also indicated that the authority has put in place measures to reduce the cost of doing business at the port by reducing charges for seal cutting services drastically and refund payment of services not rendered.
Now, we intend to reduce the costs. Yes, but probably, that way is in consideration of, the arguments that they have made, we are business partners, we understand their concerns.
Meanwhile, some stakeholders in the port business, including the Importers and Exporters Association, have commended GPHA for postponing the upward adjustment of the tariff.
We want Ghana Port Authority to understand that we acknowledge their effort. We acknowledge the effort they are putting. Indeed, there are some institutions at the port, that are collecting money from importers and exporters, but they are not adding any value to the importer. If you go to port today, the port that I know in 2009, 2008, 2007 is not the port I can see in 2016, 2015, 2014. It tells you that there have been some tremendous transformation at the port. I want to say kudos to them in the sense that the money they collect from importers, they have reinvested into the port.
I sing about. There ain't no limitations to your amazing grace, your amazing grace. And there's something about the way your love shines on my face. Oh no, I can never get enough of you.
Star Assurance, creating smiles since 1985. Let go. Let's celebrate 30 years of solid partnership. Star Assurance, your solid partner.
I'll take care of you.
Banking with transparency, commitment to integrity. The Royal Bank, the Royal Bank.
The Royal Bank, real banking, real difference.
If you are involved in logistics, if your work involves logistics and you haven't come to UT Logistics, you haven't landed. Basically, what I want to do is to invite our clients to come, see the professionalism, see the speed, see the customer industry excellence approach that we have, the customer service that we have, and above all, our pre-finance package for our clients, which has become the #1 priority for clients these days.
Schedules of vessels sitting in the port, those at anchorage and those expected for the week, in addition to the exchange rates of currencies next on your screens.
This anonymous texter says, I watched Dr. Kofimbia talking about ASHI, but all the systems including GCNet, West Blue and banks which have advanced information in them. ASHI will charge extra. Why? Well, according to the Shippers Authority, no system currently provides advanced information in Ghana. GCNet provides its information based on the manifest received from the shipping lines. Apart from the fact that manifest can sometimes delay, it does not include vital supporting documents like the invoices, packing list, freight invoice, and so on from source.
Well, I hope that I've been able to bring the activities happening within the port closer to you and also you closer to the port. That's it for this week's edition. Thanks to Robert Nyantechi behind the camera. Also, Solomon Anderson hugely assisted production. Thanks a lot to Lydia Tham. And as usual, the executive producer, Paul Asariansa. We'll be back same time next week. Thanks for watching.